I am Steve. As a child, I yearned for the mines, but something always got in the way.
Go on! Get out of here!
No. I want to be here. Because this is a film cricket review, and we are going to talk about a Minecraft movie. Yeah, so I saw this one last night, and it wasn't bad. Like, we'll jump to the end before we get to the beginning. I'll tell you what, if you want to go see it. Go see it in the movie theater. Have fun, bring the kids. We'll talk more about it, but yeah, feel free to see. Well, I mean, do what you want anyways, but go see this movie. I will tell you all right now, I am not a Minecraft fan. I never played the game. I never experienced that joy, which is Minecraft, that so many people have over the years. But I do have children, and just like in my Snow White review, we had my daughter talking about Disney stuff. My son was a Minecrafter, so let's see if we can't get him on today. Curtis, hey, so are you ready to talk about some Minecraft?
Yeah, I thought it was Warcraft when I first got to the movie set, but sure.
No, it was actually Minecraft. We saw the Warcraft movie. That was different, although I know where you're going with that. Let's talk about the movie in general. So, like I said, I never played Minecraft. I'm not really a fan. We can talk about what... I mean, I don't want to say I'm not really a fan. I've never done it. I can't say I'm not a fan. But all this stuff that they show in it, I know that you build with blocks. I know that you apparently have this guy named Steve. What can you tell me about Minecraft in general, briefly? What is Minecraft?
It's a building block game. It's basically Legos. You go in, and they've added so many updates over the years. The running joke in the Minecraft community right now is that, you join the game and you don't even recognize it, right? So it starts off as this basically building block game. Then they add villagers, then they add, dungeons, and they add elytra so you can fly around. And now it's basically a sandbox, right? For whatever crazy thing the developers want to add in any given year.
So they actually had all the room they wanted to make this movie, right? If it's a sandbox, they can do what they want. Jared Hess, director, I don't know what else he's done. I could have looked. I don't care. But we do have some really big names in this. Jason Momoa, Jack Black, Jennifer Coolidge. Ugh, I don't like Jennifer Coolidge. She does those Discover commercials. She's so annoying.
You didn't like her Jeep Grand Cherokee?
Yeah, so there's this joke that she hits. You see it in the preview in the trailer. It'll come across here where she hits one of the Minecraft characters in the real world. And she didn't just hit him. She has to let everybody know she hit him with her Jeep Grand Cherokee. And then later on it said, like, again, when you hit me with your Jeep Grand Cherokee. Jennifer Coolidge is annoying. That whole storyline just takes you, like, every time they come back to the real world to show this B story plot. I thought it took us out of the story. Maybe you liked it. I don't know, but...
I thought it was decent. I mean, it's not something I'm probably ever going to watch again. But, you want to take your kids out to the movie, go watch the Minecraft movie. It has some, not terrible songs in it, mostly because they're exclusively sung by Jack Black, and...
I know.
I like Tenacious D, so...
I like Tenacious D too, and I like Jack Black, but these songs... This was no Princess Peach song. I'm just saying. If you're going to go with a movie song, Princess Peach song was way better. So the movie...
This was just a tribute to the...
This is just a tribute.
Yeah, this was just a tribute.
So looking at the movie, just real quick, plot synopsis... They find this well, it's a cube, but the running joke is they call it the orb, and Jack Black takes it. He goes into the Minecraft world. Then this band of 4 people wind up finding the cube later. They come into this world, and there's a evil witch pig thing that wants to come. Give me your Warcraft joke. Let's hear it. Why are you keep comparing it to Warcraft? You're gonna keep going. Let's hear it.
I apologize. It's just constantly. It felt like they were ramming down our throat the plot line from Warcraft.
So yeah, a lot of this is very similar, right? If you watched the Warcraft movie or the games, then you know that a lot of this is, let's say, borrowed storyline from that. With the evil queen pig lady lives in the underworld where she's mining gold. She wants to come to the overworld, which is where you see them all hanging out with all the greenery and stuff, and where she thinks she can get more gold. And that is basically why she wants this orb, and they're trying to keep the orb cube away from her. That's the portal to the underworld. There's the underworld or whatever. And so that's really the story. Well, different worlds, these portals, that's all very reminiscent of Warcraft. That's it. All right, that's the story. Jason Momoa plays. I honestly will tell you, I thought his character was hilarious. Like out of all of the characters, his was the funniest. I thought he was going to annoy me, but he plays like this kind of loser 1980s video game superstar who never grew out of that. And so he thinks he's cooler than he is, but he's not. And that's just funny to me. I mean, it's just that whole thing. And then this bromance / rivalry that happens between him and Jack Black is funny. It gets a little overplayed because then you have these two really big personalities playing off of each other, which it's a little much, but still funny enough. But yeah, there's a point when they first hit the Minecraft world, and Jason Momoa is like, I know what this is. Like, he's figured out it's a video game right away. You kind of figure, that's what he's doing, but if you don't know video games, you might not know that. And he's like, I'm going to talk to this sheep and find out what our quest is. And he starts talking to the sheep, and I thought that was pretty darn funny. I actually laughed out loud a little bit on that one.
Yeah, maybe it's a matter of taste. I actually did find his character fairly annoying.
Oh, really? I thought he was funny.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of him.
Well, I grew up in the 80s, so maybe that was it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. The big dude running around getting his butt kicked. It's been played out 1,000 times at this point. It got a little annoying.
See, you saw this before me. You saw it, like, the showing before me. I looked for that after you mentioned it. I didn't really see it that much. Yeah, I know there's that whole concept of the guys can't do anything, the girls do everything that you see in movies a lot today. I was actually specifically looking for it and didn't pick up on it. I see where you might have gotten it from, but had you not said it, I wouldn't have gotten it. I guess I'm just wasn't overly sensitive. Hey, right here with the pandas. The pandas were funny. Another little throwback maybe to another movie. A little panda, Kung Fu Panda there for Jack Black.
Yeah. I think they were definitely not important.
There was also a cameo that you saw that I literally turned away and missed, heard them say it, turned back, and said, I missed the cameo that I knew nothing about and would have missed had I been watching it anyways. What was that?
So, there's this big guy in the Minecraft community, and he died very young of cancer. And so I was a little surprised when they added it, but it was a very nice little shout out to Technoblade. You have this little scene where you have this pig coming along with Technoblade's classic Bejeweled Crown, and one of I think the little boy asks, "Is that a pig?" And Jack Black says, "No, that's a legend." Because Technoblade never dies.
So shout out to the and I watched one of his videos. You sent it to me so I could prep a little bit for this, and yeah, it was cool. He was farming potatoes or something, and I'm not being dismissive. Again, if you like that stuff, it's just not the community I hang out in. So it's cool that he got the shout. I mean that literally. It's cool he got a shout out in this movie if he's such a big player in that community. I will say I don't know about the theater you were in, but I showed up because we're in different towns, I know, and so the theater I went to, the original 6 o'clock showing I was going to see looked like there were tons of seats. And honestly, I got to tell you, I was expecting there to be tons of seats. And they said, no, you want the blue seats. And I went, oh, man, that's right. There was like four seats in this massive theater. I went, oh, okay. Well, I'll go to the next showing. It was the same way. And so when I got into it, and maybe this is a shout out to Regal Cinemas messing up, but they had overbooked the seats. So people are kind of just trying to figure out where they're sitting. I wound up sitting next to, like, there was this woman and these two kids with her. I'm guessing her sons, but they were sitting kind of in my seats, but they were also their seats because they had booked them. They booked them like a week earlier, and
they did like the airplane thing, sell more seats than they have.
Yeah. So that's the end result. It's like Regal did this, and then the girl that was sitting behind us also had those seats, and we all figured it out. But polite young men. In fact, the boy at the end was like, "Oh, sorry," and started moving stuff off of the next seat because he figured I was in number 4, right? But we got it figured out. I said, hey, can I just sit next to you guys? You good with that? They said, yes. Here's my shout out. I told them that I'd do a shout out to them. Connor and Logan, if you're watching, this is for you guys. But they were 10 and 7 years old. And I asked them after the movie, right? And they were into movies. I think I was sitting next to Connor. They were into movies. We were watching previews, talking, yeah, that looks good, that looks good. No talking during the movie, though. We're good there. And then after the movie, I asked them, did you like it? And they did. Right, they liked it. It was very entertaining. That age group seems like this is the movie for them.
And that makes sense to me, right? So, like, a lot of my complaints with the movie are things that aren't really complaints once I recognize who the target audience is, right? So, like, you mentioned the orb joke earlier. It's a little ham-fisted. It gets repeated, like, 6 times. I understood it the first time. Okay, yeah, kind of funny. But it's made for kids, you know? So, repeating the joke, giving it back to them again, and especially with some of the stuff that the movie did so well, like the backgrounds. I mean, 90% of the movie is CGI, and it looks fantastic.
Yeah, really.
I totally understand kids liking it.
Really seamless. As far as, like, when you look at, like, the Marvel movies and stuff and the CGI that goes there and you're like, this looks like it could be real world. Kind of works here, too. The only time that I was taken out of that CGI and thought this looks kind of cheap was when they were flying. Like, you see them push them over the cliff. It's that scene, right? So then they're zooming along with these wings on. And it looked like right here where they take off right here. It looked very Shark Boy and Lava Girl, right? Or Spy Kids in 3D. It just had that really cheap background of CGI. And I went, oh, this is the first time I'm being taken out of this because it feels cheap. I don't think the jokes were really inappropriate. There was one time where they have Jack Black and Jason Momoa kind of flip around while they're flying to try and fit through this tunnel, and I'm like, why they don't? That's weird. Like, that's weird, man. I know it's supposed to be awkward and weird, and that's kind of the joke, but other than that, that was fine. The one thing that bothered me, and maybe it bothered you, maybe not, was they didn't build much. Like, here you have this Minecraft where the whole thing is you're building how. Like, I know people that build these massive cities and stuff, and it's really cool, and they didn't really build anything in the movie.
So I'll say 2 things to that. The first thing is combat is still a really big part of the Minecraft community. So, like that Technoblade guy that we were talking about earlier, he's known for being a combat guy in Minecraft. So, like, doing the adventure, fighting Enderman, all of that makes sense to me. Especially because it's hard to show architecture and make it cool in cinema.
Sure.
The second thing is that I was thinking about this in relation to the Lego movie last night. Right, and a big problem that the Lego movie had a couple years ago was that it had, like, this mixed message between, you know, be creative versus sort of just stay in line and, you know, be successful in that manner. What's better? What's actually gonna make you successful when we're literally out here selling build kits, and you should be using those instead of, building whatever your heart tells you. Something I found really interesting about this movie is because Minecraft is so much of a sandbox as a game, you have a huge modding community. So very few people play Minecraft anymore. If you play Minecraft, you're playing it with whatever additions some brilliant programmer wanted to add. And I thought it was really cool that this creative kid is coming in and he's creating things that don't exist in Minecraft. He's literally modding the game when he builds, like, the golem with the boots of swiftness, or when he builds the
Tater tot gun.
Tater tot gun. So, like, there was still creativity, there was still building, it just wasn't as much of an architecture sort of thing.
Yeah, I just thought there could have been more. I guess that was my thing. And that's the thing, especially when you introduce this kid that's supposed to be so creative and stuff. And he builds them a tower, like, right away to get away from the zombies and the things that come at night. The joke about, night seems to come every 20 minutes was kind of funny. And so there was some... I might have just wanted to see more. Overall, as we can see, this movie has 48 on the tomato meter, 87 on the popcorn meter. Interesting enough, and let me switch over real quick because I still have my slide from Snow White. You can see here, it's very similar to Snow White, right? Like 43-74 on Snow White, and when you look at it, it's that same 48-87, and I would say, looking at the two, having gone to the two, the kids like it the same, the fan base, I had plenty of people that were in this theater that were, early 20s, that really liked it. In fact, we'll talk real quick about the scenes at the end. So, spoiler alert, if you don't want to know about the post-credit scenes, and they do exist. Skip ahead a couple seconds, right? So you don't have to hear about it. But when they saw the post-credit scenes, they got very excited. So one of them, what was the first one? Oh, the first post-credit scene was a mid-credit scene where basically they explore a little bit more of that stupid B plot with Jennifer Coolidge. Oh, she's annoying. And I have to say that every time you say her name. Oh, she's annoying.
It's very fulfilling. She learned by the end.
Yeah, she's learned to speak their stupid language. Point is that was the mid-credit scene. And I thought, when the pandas, they have little hearts come up, then a baby panda existed. I thought when you saw her do little hearts, you'd see a little baby person, like a little baby, like Minecraft thing show up, but they didn't do that. They should have. That might have actually been funny. And then the final scene where Steve comes back to his house in the real world, and you see kind of the silhouette of a redheaded girl he's talking to, and he wants to get this chest that's up in his attic, and she's like, oh, it's still there. And he goes, oh, hey, by the way, what's your name? I'm Steve. And she says her name is...
Alex.
And why does that matter?
It really doesn't. It's a nifty little thing. I've heard people say this is setting up for, like, a second movie.
That's what they were screaming in the theater I was in. Oh, there's going to be a sequel.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was just a dumb little thing. There's 2 player characters that you randomly spawn in as in Minecraft. The older one, the one that was there when I started playing the game, was Steve. But nowadays, they were like, I wish I had a female character. So sometimes you spawn in as Alex, which is like a red-haired girl instead. Well,
I would say, judging by what I'm seeing with the audience reaction, I think we're going to have really high box office tallies for this movie, especially this opening weekend. I think it will sustain. I think it'll do well enough to keep going. For all that, I would think that that we might actually see a sequel. Does it need one? No. Could you easily do it based off of the movie, even without the background of the game and the Alex thing? Yes, you could do one. It's open enough. Hey, just like Minecraft. See, but bump. And yeah.
Well, particularly like Minecraft because so with the development of the game and the thousands of things that have been added over the years, the first big update was the Nether. You could go to the Nether, and then
that's that underworld place, right?
Yeah, the underworld place. And then they were like, this game is kind of open-ended. We need to have like an ending, so we're gonna add another dimension, and we're gonna call it the End. And so that's where the Endermen come from. There's an Ender Dragon. Like, it would be very easy to do a part 2 where they have to beat the Ender Dragon.
And I would fully anticipate that's going to be the case. All the characters, all the people did a great job in it. I had no problem with it. Like I said, I didn't like Jennifer Coolidge. Could have gotten rid of her. Honestly, Dawn and Natalie, played by Danielle Brooks and Emma Myers, I don't know if they were even really needed in it. They kind of felt a little tacked on. Dawn a little bit more than Natalie. Natalie was playing the one boy's older sister, like their parents had died, and she was kind of the caregiver. So I guess maybe she needed to be there a little bit more. Dawn was a real estate agent / zookeeper that got sucked in, but they were there. They were fine. They did a good job, but I just don't know if you wanted to lean out the movie some, you could have. But anyway, that's a Minecraft movie. Curtis, you have anything else you want to say in closing on this one?
No. I thought it was decent. Go watch it if you have young kids. But if you're like an older player that's been playing Minecraft or like played it in middle school, kind of like me, I'd save your money.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's really worth going to see.
Catch it on the TV. All right, everybody. Well, as always, that's our review for today. I appreciate you staying with us. Like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, all those things other people tell you to do. Share this, right? Share this video if you enjoyed it, or even if you didn't. Feel free to leave a comment. Just keep them respectful. Otherwise, I will see you at the movies. All right. Bye-bye now.
Wiedersehen.
This is 24-hour Gribble Talk, serving the entire Tri-House area.
Dale is a terrible radio personality.
All
Hey, we're
right.
listening to him. He must be doing something right.